Battalion 2 to Engine 48, come out of that building.
Focus on the red or whiskey. I'm set.
Receive. Battalion 2 to command, Engine 48 is calling a Mayday. They on the second floor on the Delta Alpha side.
Second floor on the Delta side, correct?
Affirmative. I can announce that over the radio. We got a Mayday, Mayday, Mayday.
Receive. All companies, we've got a Mayday, Mayday. All companies, we've got a Mayday. Stay off of the radio until further notice.
Breaking news tonight. Firefighters trapped in a raging inferno. A Mayday call for help and a daring rescue mission to get them out alive.
Breaking news from CBS 11.
Breaking news right now at 11. Chopper 11 is live over a massive apartment fire in northeast Dallas. Started about 90 minutes ago at the Cambridge Park Apartments on Adelia Road. It's right near LBJ, and you can see that the flames are still going strong.
I'm Natalie Solis. We begin with breaking news in northeast Dallas, where people are being rescued from a 3-story apartment building fire.
I knew immediately that I was in a circumstance that I couldn't get myself out of.
Second apartment on the second floor to the right. We're caught and we're stuck.
I'm Daniel Dallas. I'm a battalion chief with the Dallas Fire Department. I'm currently assigned to Battalion 4 on the A shift. I was the initial incident commander on the Cambridge Park fire, which occurred on November 27th of 2018. I took the Charlie command side of the structure as the incident escalated.
Battalion 2 to Engine 48. Battalion 4 to Battalion 2, we got a cross lake coming your way. Battalion 2 to Battalion 4, I'm trying to get contact with Engine 48.
My name is James Russ. I'm Battalion 2 on A shift. At the Cambridge Park fire, I was in charge of Alpha Division. Initially, when we showed up on location, we saw a lot of smoke coming from the Charlie Bravo side of the building, with light smoke coming out of the Delta Alpha side of the building. Battalion 4 was already in command and was on the Charlie side. He contacted me on Channel 12 and told me to take charge of the Alpha Division.
Lieutenant Patty Kraft, I'm assigned to Engine 48 A shift. At the Cambridge fire, I was assigned to Battalion 2 to search with Engine 29 on the Alpha Delta side. We were searching and Tamika yelled to me, "Lou, there's fire in the hall."
Tamika Lamb, I'm a firefighter paramedic. I'm stationed at 28 C shift, but for the Mayday, I was at 48 on A shift as a higher back. So initially, when we went in, we were, doing our search for individuals in the building. Lou and the other member went to the right. I went to the left, and I was at a vantage where I could look back into the hallway, and I saw that there was fire there. I radioed to her, and on 12 that we had fire behind us. That was our way in and out. So she knew that that was not a good thing as well. So we got together and we looked for windows before, we called for anything. So we tried to get out ourselves. And once that, I guess, big part of the fire, pushed our way, it got real dark real fast, pushed us all the way to the ground, very, very low visibility, got really, really hot. Lou did an awesome job getting us all together, making sure that, she had hands-on accountability of the entire team. And like I said, once we couldn't find the windows is when she radioed and let them know that we were in trouble.
And said, "Get over here with me." I think she said it verbally and then said it again on the radio because she wasn't sure if I had heard her. So I tried to gather my crew together and find our way. I was literally heading back toward where we came in, to the door. We got together and really and truly, probably within 10 feet, I felt like I was physically pushed to the ground by the heat. And at that point, I knew I was in trouble. I was thinking, I need to call a Mayday. Battalion 2 was yelling at me to get out, yelling at Engine 48 to get out.
Battalion 2 to Engine 48, come out of that building.
And I cannot tell you why I didn't say the word Mayday. All I could say was we were stuck. and he interpreted that correctly, thank goodness.
Back if I'm around, I will see. I'm set.
Receive. Battalion 2 to command. Engine 48 is calling the Mayday. They on the second floor on the Delta Alpha side.
Second floor on the Delta side, correct?
Affirmative.
Now, I want to place emphasis on what we just saw. Now, Engine 48, they were doing a search and rescue. We kind of talked about the Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. So they were in a certain part of the building conducting a search. They ended up getting stuck. That was interpreted as they could not get out. Thank God for Chief Russ. He knew exactly what she meant by the word stuck. Even if she didn't mean for Mayday to be called, he did the right thing. If you think you're in trouble, you probably are. He thought she was in trouble. So what you should do as a commander on a scene is act appropriately. Go ahead and get it started. If it's not trouble, you can always cancel the Mayday. It's way too late if you follow instincts as if they're not in trouble. So you want to be proactive and not reactive. Chief Russ did just that. He was proactive. And in that instance, he saved lives. Let's continue.
All companies, we've got a Mayday, Mayday. All companies, we've got a Mayday. Stay off of the radio until further notice. Let's do fireground. Everybody, let's change fireground to channel 10. We're going to change fireground to channel 10.
Now, I want to talk about what they also did that was correct. A lot of departments around the world has a designated channel for a Mayday team, okay? You have a fireground channel, which all the command and the firefighters talk about what's going on, give canned reports which are conditions, actions, and needs. And that's fine. That's the way it's set up. We're all talking, we're all listening, we all know what's going on. Now, as soon as there's a Mayday, a lot of people like to stay on that RIT channel and have the crew that called a Mayday to possibly switch their channel over to the RIT channel. Well, we found out a long time ago that's not possible. When there's individuals that are in trouble, the last thing they want to do is fumble around on a radio to find a channel to talk to the RIT team. So what should have been done is what actually was done. Command knew to change the fireground channel. Leave the crew that was in trouble on that channel, have the RIT team switch from the RIT channel over to the fireground channel and talk directly to the crew needing help. They don't have to fumble around the radios. Command made the decision to switch fireground to another channel, which was the right thing to do. So kudos to Dallas Fire Rescue for making those choices.
Prior to the Mayday being called, I was actually talking with the USAR team. They were conducting their 360. At that point, we heard Engine 48 describing their situation, which was not very clear on the radio.
Battalion 2 to Engine 48, what's your location?
Once we had a clearer and better understanding of what was going on, and we knew that Engine 48 was in trouble and trapped, the Mayday was called. I remained in command of the Charlie Division, and the USAR team went to the Delta side of the structure to initiate the rescue.
My name's Keith Massengill. I work at Station 19, captain of our USAR team, and at the Cambridge Park Fire, we were RIT. When we arrived on scene, there was a large amount of fire, and we had only been there a few minutes when the Mayday came in. So it just looked like a large apartment fire from our perspective. before the Mayday even happened, I actually heard Engine 48 saying they were having trouble getting out. So we started back towards where I'd set up our RIT team. And when the Mayday was activated, it was basically gather as much information, go in the last known location, and try to get to them as fast as possible with the information that we had.
USAR 19 confirmed Mayday, second floor, Alpha Delta. Receive.
Now, a couple of things went extremely well with this transaction between the RIT team and the team in trouble, Engine 48. First of all, situational awareness. We teach this from the beginning of fire recruit school. You have to always know where you are, what's above you, what's below you, what's in front of you, what's behind you. They had great situational awareness to understand that they were in trouble before the fire actually got to them. They hunkered down in a location that was safe enough for them to remain until the RIT team got there. I know sometimes if the environment gets too bad, you may have to move away from that location. That would have made it a little bit more difficult for the RIT team to locate them. But the lieutenant was extremely smart. Lieutenant got her crew together, went into a place that was safe enough to sustain their lives until help arrived. That played a big part. Also, a big part was the RIT team didn't just go there, stand around, and wait for orders to be told to them. They did their jobs. They gathered all their equipment. They located themselves in a place close to where they felt trouble may happen. And so when the Mayday was called, they were ready to go. You have to have all of these elements for a situation to go right.
Lieutenant Kraft was very specific about her location, and that was one of the main factors of us being able to find them in such a short period of time, was she knew exactly where her and her crew were. So that was huge. That was a huge benefit for us.
Are we talking to Engine 48?
Engine 48. He's in the building on the second. We're second building on the right. Turn in. Let's get it. Turn down.
Engine 48, slow down and repeat that.
When we go in, we're the second apartment on the right.
Is that the second apartment on the right, correct?
That's affirmative.
So basically my thought was, once I had called a Mayday, once they had realized I was calling a Mayday, and they were coming, and truck captain was talking to me on the radio, I'm going to stay here and hope they can come and get us out.
My name is Charlie Salazar. I'm Deputy Chief with Dallas Fire Rescue. I'm assigned to Special Operations at the Cambridge Fire. I started in Delta, transitioned to RIT Group Supervisor, and then went back to Delta after a successful rescue of 3 firefighters. RIT team, 19s, they were there, and they had already set up in the most critical position and the most advantageous position for a rescue. Captain Massengill came up to me and he said, "Did you hear that, Chief?" I said, "No, hear what?" They declared a Mayday for Engine 48 for Patty, and I said, "Okay, well, let's get set up."
Well, not knowing that it was going to happen, I believe she did a great job of keeping her crew all together. So we were looking for 3 individuals, but in one spot.
Engine 48, activate your pass device.
Our answers are off.
Receive. Hey, Cap, is that you with your flashlight?
We do a lot of training on RIT because it's one of the main fundamental cores that we've established with our USAR team is rapid intervention team on every multiple alarm. One of us is going. So we practiced it a lot. I feel like everybody that was with us was prepared to go, and that training paid off that day.
Yes, command, we have all 3 members coming out. Go, move faster, guys. Chief, hold on, man, hang up. We got 1 out, they're still making their way out. Command, you receive that? We
got 2 out. They're still working their way out.
Command receive. Let me know when everybody's out.
We got the 3rd one out. We're waiting on Red. We're waiting on Red.
Receive.
Go ahead and run a par on all my rig companies. Run a par on all my rig companies. We got everybody out at this time.
Command receive.
All 3 firefighters and a resident were treated for injuries, but they are expected to be okay. And one official told me if it had not been for that rapid intervention team going in so quickly, David, this would have been far worse.
So again, now you see how and why having a RIT team is so important. The anatomy of a Mayday was a brilliant video to put together for people who didn't know. So if you're from a larger department, you may have the benefit of having a RIT team on standby at every single emergency. Smaller departments, you may not have that benefit. Now, a RIT team doesn't have to be a huge group of people. A RIT team can be a minimum of 2 people. So if you can rotate at least 2 people to stand by as a RIT team, and as the emergency develops, as people get tired, you need to rotate them out, rehab them. Maybe you can go from fire suppression to rehab, and instead of putting them back on fire suppression, rotate them in as a RIT member and take that RIT team on standby and utilize them as the fire suppression team. So there's really no reason why you should not have a RIT team. You don't need it until you need it. So let's always have a RIT team on standby.